Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa. Typically, championships are foremost on the Crimson Tide's mind, but today it might be revenge. Florida State rolls in to take on the Tide. The Seminoles last year knocked Alabama for a loop in the season opener. Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, and David Pollock with you. Let's go down to the field in Hollywood.
Well, as you can imagine, Florida State against Alabama has a lot of connotations here in college football. Alabama had to survive that opening week loss that was so embarrassing. Kalen DeBoer says that was the thing that drove them all season long, eventually making the college football playoff. But keep in mind, these players might want a little revenge as Florida State takes on Alabama. Back to you.
The Seminoles ready to put toe to leather, and here we go. He'll bring it out. It's Jenkins. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. So Alabama's offense will take the field first. And we get a look at Ryan Williams. And you get the idea that he'll be keeping an eye on the kind of day his counterpart is having for their offense.
We've got two receivers playing in this game, two of the best in the entire country, two guys who had an opportunity to go to the next level, but they came back because they knew they had a chance to compete for a national championship. And now, David, we get this game where these guys are going to go head-to-head. They're seniors. They know the system. They have great chemistry with their quarterbacks, and they're ready to put on a show.
And if you don't think they're peeking over to the other side every time they're not on the field, you are absolutely wrong. This is that kind of showdown. This is draft stock jockeying, right? This is Biletnikoff at the end of the season. They want to make a name for themselves. Who is the best wide receiver? No better opportunity than to do it head-to-head, and we got that stage today.
Now on 1st and 10 from the 27. The pitch to the left. Fights off a defender. Get him on the ground after a 4-yard run out to the 31.
You know, these little 1 to 2, 3-yard gains early, they're like body blows in a boxing match, and those gains become 10, 12, 15-yarders as the game goes on, and they wear this defense down.
Pulled down for the tackle.
That's a really nice play on 2nd down. I love the quarterback's read. I love that he kept it. Good offensive coordinators across college football, they have no problem repeating the same play over and over again if it's successful.
Oh, that big stiff arm got him some room. He'll be forced out of bounds after a nice pickup on the run.
Every offensive coordinator in the country, they come in the game, they have a script. They have a couple plays they want to go through to get their team settled in, get down and get in good 3rd down situations, execute on 3rd down. Nice start on this opening drive by the offense.
The give on the inside. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
I love when defensive backs come up and they are physical and they stick their face in the fan and they aren't scared. Talking to the defensive coordinator coming into this game, he knew his DBs had to tackle well. They had to get these running backs on the ground. Great start on this first drive.
Keelan Russell. The short hands, it's Edwards. Into enemy territory and out of bounds at the 48.
Hey, that's a great job executing the drag route. You just bring the big fella across the formation, wait for him to come open. Quarterback does a good job seeing him, finds him in the hole, hits him. Perfect job.
Oh, what a cut! He works his way inside the 30 down to the 29 and picks up a 1st down. Alabama pushing the tempo.
And man, it's nice to have a running back that you can do that. 3rd and inches, you're thinking run as it is, but you're not getting to the running back that way. He sneaks out of the backfield.
Caught, and he's got room. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab.
Get the big-time receiver involved early in the game. That's a huge key for this offense, no matter who they're playing against. But you can see, with his size, with his ability after the catch, this guy is a weapon, and he's putting this defense on alert early.
He's got it and still on his feet. And he goes out of bounds after coming up with positive yardage there. Going to work on second down in the red zone, and still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. Throwing Russell. Floats it out in space. He's down at the 1, and they almost had the touchdown pass on that one.
And this offense is a pretty smart offense, and they're going to use their guys and their weapons all kinds of different ways. And you see it right out the gates in this football game. Getting your running back in space, running the real route, getting him matched up on the matchup you want so you can take advantage. This offense will do this all throughout the game.
I think one of the biggest keys in stopping these big physical running backs is you can never let them get momentum running downhill, and I think that was a big factor on that play. They didn't get him right away. He was able to break a tackle, but he couldn't get the speed going, and as a result...
And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Alabama!
And you knew his legs were a weapon, and he shows it to you right there, running it into the end zone. And this offense, man, they are a good offense, and they are in a good rhythm early in this football game. We talked about the quarterback. We talked about his speed. He can make these type of plays, and on the first drive, Palmer, the defense didn't have the answers. They better find some.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to find them, too, just because of that athleticism and just how he can attack defenses with his arm, with his feet, the different playmakers surrounding him as well. There's a lot to get prepared for in a week when you're playing against this offense, and I just think they saw everything there on that opening drive. They're going to have to do some soul-searching on the sidelines early.
This crowd trying to make life miserable for this offense. He leaves it with his back. Nowhere to go on that one. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Now, you want to be a great run defense, your DBs have to be great tacklers. And I love the way he comes up, sees the run. I know he makes the money in the back end covering passes, but when you got a guy that can fly up and make tackles, man, does your defense go to a different level.
Back to pass, it's Daniels. Gets rid of it. He is lucky to get that one back, and the last thing you want is to turn it over on your opening drive.
Oh, that hit him in a bad spot, right in the hands. Great play. Still get a pass breakup, but man, that could have been an interception by the defender there. Nice break on the football, but secure that big fella and get the 6. Get the pick 6.
On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf. The Noles will punt this one away. Fair catch called for and taken at the 30-yard line. The Tide ready to roll on offense. On that last drive, defense had no idea what was happening, run or pass, and it wound up in the end zone, Jesse.
Yeah, you saw the experience in this offense that last drive, too, on that touchdown. Everybody on the same page. These guys have repped these plays over and over in practice and in games, and it's working.
Yeah, so I got to find a way to disrupt it. I got to find a way to maybe be more aggressive, maybe blitz, mess up this rhythm they got going.
We've reached the break, and Alabama has the lead. 1 period in the books, and let's take a look at the stats. Lots of time left, and we're ready to get back to it and open the 2nd period. Pulls and fires complete. Hard running there. And he used that spin move to put him in the spin cycle and gain extra yardage. You can work your way down the field with these wide receiver screens, but also look for the opportunity to turn them into chunk plays later.
No doubt, you throw it quickly. You get it to him now. DB comes up, has to make a tackle. Now you fake it maybe a little bit later on. So these plays, they're not huge plays all the time, but they can set up big plays down the road for your offense.
Knocked down in the backfield, and that'll bring up 4th down. Alabama will bring the punt team on the field. The punter going to get his first work of the afternoon. Fields the punt and tries to work it the other way. They'll get him corralled and down at about the 19-yard line. All right, guys, here comes the Florida State offense onto the field. They went 3 and out on their first possession, now to see if they can be more productive this time around. Knocked down after picking up 5 out to the 24.
I don't know, man. If I'm on defense here and I'm watching the way my D-line's getting manhandled, I might have to put more guys in the box. I might have to sacrifice a safety and try to get more hats close to the line of scrimmage to slow this running back down. Because the RPO game's been a problem.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough, how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
Looking to pass, it's Daniels. Unloads to the wideout. Finds space on the right. Good call, good execution as they move the chains and they have a first down at the 38. And the Noles come to the line with a new set of downs. Gives it on the option. Got enough for the first. Found enough room to get it into enemy territory. They're down at the 43-yard line. The offense set for a first down play. They'll move the wide receiver. He's got it on the right. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver. And you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is because they know he's a big part of this offensive success.
Maybe some room here. Now he's got it all the way down to the 21-yard line, and they are threatening on first down.
It's just not easy to bring this guy down, is it? He is so dangerous once he gets the ball in his hands, and it makes me think back to old great Seminole running backs like Warwick Dunn, Travis Minor, a guy that I used to play against. How about Dalvin Cook even? Just guys that could make the first guy miss, and then they were able to just explode and burst and take it the distance. This guy right here, he is a unique talent.
The Seminoles kept this drive moving on the ground, now back to work. To the air on first down. Firing toward the end zone. He's got it. And he wanted the score badly, but the defense wrestles him down at the 2.
And this offense is just so dynamic because they've got playmakers at all the skill positions, right? We just saw a big play in the running game. Now we see one in the passing game. There's not one dude that you can key on here if you're on defense to try and slow them down.
Nothing doing, and he was lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage at 2nd and goal.
Well, the defense blitzed on that last run, but it was the big fella on the inside that made the stop and made the play. Great job flying out of his stance, locating where the football was, and getting to the ball carrier. Really good job at the point of attack.
Now the pitch. Touchdown Seminoles! Great job by the back on the option.
This has been a back-and-forth battle with a lot of football left to go. Really nice job executing on that rushing touchdown. If they get this extra point, this thing is all tied up.
And the point after is good. They put together an 81-yard drive and close the deal with a 3-yard touchdown run. Fielded in the end zone. It's Rogers. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Guys, here comes that Alabama offense onto the field. They'll start this drive from the 18-yard line. A rather unproductive series last time, 3 and out, and they'll try to do better this time around. Got the first himself. Turning it on. And it's a first down. They'll mark it at the 44. The clock is not their friend. Got to get everybody to the line quickly.
And you're seeing here the difficulties defenses have trying to contain this guy. If you leave a lane open or you don't sack him right away, you allow him to get outside the pocket, he is going to take off, and he is very difficult to tackle in the open field. He's got running back-like ability out in space.
Got away from trouble and got rid of it. Short throw to the sideline is complete, and he's out of bounds after picking up a couple.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense, catching the football.
The Crimson Tide can dig into that playbook here on 2nd and short. Motion from the back. Got a man. It's Rodgers. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down. Last completion moved the sticks in. Let's see if they try it again. Again, it's Russell. Oh, they're after him. They're working that left side. The Tide will have to call their first timeout. They'll have 2 left to work with before the half. The last completion got him 6. Now it's 2nd and 4. The secondary walks up on the line, showing press coverage. The throw just gets rid of it to the running back underneath. They'll finally put the brakes on him at the 3. A big throw, catch and run on that one.
And man, you love to see that from this offense. Coming out and answering, right? Like putting a drive together. Their defense just gave up a touchdown, but you want to snatch the momentum back. Nice job putting a little bit of a drive together. Now let's go cap this thing off with a touchdown.
Alabama comes to the line with a 1st and goal. Russell unleashes to the end zone. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. Grab the short pass to put the 6 on the board.
And I just love the execution by this offense. Late in the half, man, you want to take the lead. You want to get that momentum on your side, and they do it. They finish it with the passing game. I'll tell you what, keep that passing game up. You can keep this lead, keep the momentum, and keep putting up numbers.
And the ball will make it into the end zone. No return on that one for a touchback. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Dropping back, it's Daniels. Moving out of the pocket. He is sacked way behind the line of scrimmage. Just a catastrophic play there.
Well, the offense obviously already in bad field position. The defense can smell blood in the water. Just look at the defenders pin their ears back and get after this quarterback. Wow.
And we are headed to halftime. Both squads headed into the locker room to make some adjustments. Gives us an opportunity to check in with Kevin Connors in our EA Sports College Football Studio Update.
Fellas, we welcome you into our palatial Orlando studios for the Week 3 edition of the EA Sports College Football Update Show. We begin with Texas Tech taking on the number 14 team, the Houston Cougars. And it's the Red Raiders who are rewarded for feeding their star. For some reason, he plays better at home, and this team plays better at home, as they did today. That gets their record to 3-0 on the season. And as we check in on these notable matchups this week, we're reminded of just how meaningful every week in college football truly is. And now over to your game at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Back and forth we've gone so far, and these numbers, it's funny, third down conversions don't always tell the story. Maybe staying out of those situations in the second half is the safest pathway to victory. And with that said, let's send it back to the guys at Bryant-Denny Stadium.
Thanks for that halftime report, Kevin. They're lined up and ready to kick off this second half. He'll bring it out. It's Carter. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. Holly, what did you find out coming from the locker room?
Guys, Florida State's head coach told me at the half they are really thrilled with how their defense is playing so far. They knew coming in that they had a really tough opponent in the wide receiver on the other team, somebody who could change a game with one route. But their defense has been stout and solid. We'll see if they can continue to do that here as that wide receiver gets the ball here to start the second half. Back to you guys.
formation picked up 6 yards on first down, now 2nd and 4. To the air, it's Daniels. Here comes the heat. Complete. No, he loses the ball after the huge gain. And they are fortunate to avoid the turnover as the fumble goes out of bounds. And the Seminoles, right after the huge play through the air, back to the line. Lost a throw on first down. Nowhere to go and not much to show for that one.
And offenses nowadays, they're really just counting numbers. How many guys do you have out wide? How many guys do I have out wide? If I have enough guys to block your guys, boom, it's just built into the offense. Pitch, catch, let me get a few yards.
Wants to throw it. Going for the big play. And it's incomplete after taking a shot on second down. They're staring at third.
And how nice is it to have the home crowd going absolutely bananas? Communication is harder. The snapping the football, everybody being on time. Man, this crowd really affecting the football game.
A veritable crimson tide of noise on Saban Field here on third down. He did not make it a stone wall on third down. The Seminoles send out the punt unit. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Punt is on its way. And the punt will hit at the one, just a little too far for them to be able to down it. It'll be a touchback and come out to the 20. Here comes that Alabama offense. Boy, that last drive, they looked like they were throwing against air. Just absolute precision execution in the passing game, and it led them to a touchdown. We'll see what they have this possession. Defense right there to stop him in his tracks, and they get nothing on that play.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Oh, what a move. They'll knock him down after a 6-yard gain to the 27.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the third quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical, and they're trying to stay on the field.
Russell from the gun on third down. Dances away. And the rush will get to him at the 25. The Crimson Tide will bring the punt team on the field.
And protecting their quarterback is job number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as many as you want to put it up. They got to make sure they take care of him so he can make those plays. Defense wins this rep. They win up front, get to the quarterback, and get the sack.
The Seminoles offense comes out ready to get this drive started. Another opportunity here. They had to punt it on their last possession, but this time tight game, hoping to get something on the board. They'll run it out of the shotgun.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
Got 8 on first down, now looking at a 2nd and 2. Might as well stick with him. And they'll pick up the first down and mark it at the 47.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
And as he throws, incomplete thanks to the great defensive pressure there that sort of threw them out of rhythm.
Well, the offensive line has got to give him at least a little bit of time to survey the field. He had no chance that time, getting hit almost immediately after he got the ball.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. He'll toss it. And they'll wrestle him to the ground after a short gain. quarterback to throw. It's Daniels. He's got him along the sidelines, and the foot is clearly down for the catch, and they'll move the chains. And wait just a second. The official's going to take a second look at this one. After taking another look just to confirm everything, the officials on the field got it right. Play will stand. And the Seminoles are moving quickly down the field. They're trying to slow that rush down with the draw. And the defense snows him under after a very short game.
A lot of times you see these defenses, man, they pull the run blitzes. They understand the formations. It might be a run, play the percentages, and then you got to deal with the big defensive tackle inside. So more bodies near the line of scrimmage. Everybody's got to pick him up, but they didn't block the most important guy, the big fella right in the middle.
Well, the quarterback was in a world of trouble there. He was under pressure. He knew he was going to get hit, so he was just trying to get rid of it, but he forced it into double coverage. He's lucky that was only an incompletion.
It'll be third and long. Quarterback making adjustments. On third and long, trying to have a big completion here. It's incomplete, but here comes the flag, and I think it's going to be a first down.
And the defender just way too handsy on that last play. You could see all the contact as the ball was in the air. He simply can't do it, and the referee's caught it.
From the shotgun, the inside give. Finding some room. Nice pickup on the ground there, and they'll move the sticks with the first down. The Seminoles come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. And they're not quite in rhythm there. It's incomplete.
And that's a really good job by this defense. Complete defensive effort. When the back end makes the quarterback hold the football a little longer than he wants to, and then the pass rush gets home, hits him, and forces the incompletion.
And brought down. Looks as if that's how we'll end the third. So Alabama takes the lead into the quarter break. They're sitting in a strong position here with the lead. Let's take a look at our game summary. One more period to go to see who can make the winning plays and come home with the victory. With the break, they had a little extra time to dial something up for this third down play. To the ground to try to pick up the first. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
And I'm not surprised with the run, and I'm not going to be...
They've got a first down here. Want to start his bend to this season. We've got a great game here. Close ball game, fourth quarter. Couldn't ask for anything more. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is.
Yeah, and you see some people get upset with offsides in the defense. I call it the cost of doing business. It's just part of being great off the football. Sometimes you'll guess, and sometimes you'll be wrong. The first one is always on me, Coach, and then the second one, usually he takes me out of the game.
Off the play fake on first down to throw. Quickly complete. Trying to hit him with a quick game on first down, and nothing doing there. Following the completion, we get a stoppage to check out the injured player. And the D deny them on second and goal. To the air, it's Daniels. And the pressure gets him back at the 8-yard line.
The offense right now is moving in the wrong direction. They weren't able to get a touchdown on that first down play. Now giving up a negative play on second down. You got to be very careful about this third down play.
If they can get it in here, we could have a thrilling end to this game. It is third. Beck's going for the goal line. And the catch and run into the end zone. Touchdown, Noles! Looking for the tie with the extra point. And the extra point was good, and we are all tied up in the fourth. That is what they mean when they say ball control, a 14-play touchdown drive. And they finish things off with an 8-yard toss for the score. Fielded in the end zone, it's Jenkins. I imagine he's going to get an earful on the sideline after bringing it out of the end zone and being knocked down at the 11. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. Tie game, fourth quarter, plenty of time to work with, exactly where you want to be in this one. Keelan Russell. Here's the pressure. Got him for the sack. This defense turning up the intensity.
That defender is a matchup nightmare for any offensive lineman to block. He's got athleticism, he's got length, he's got flexibility. He put it all on display on that sack.
The Crimson Tide just hoping at least to get some of the yardage back here on second down. Throws to the wideout. Missed his receiver there. It's incomplete. You make up the game plan and not a lot on the play sheet for this. Third and long from inside their own 20. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Hill. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
And I think a lot of people are going to look at that drive, and first of all, the drive was awful. They're all going to look at the drive and say it was awful, but how about the giving up on third down? I mean, you got third and long, you try to sneak a run in, and this drive, this possession, it was disastrous for the offense. And now you just hope you have enough space to get a punt off.
That's a perfect example of not settling for a fair catch. Pick up whatever yardage you can and help out the offense. The give to the running back from the shotgun. Gain of right at 7 yards, 2nd and 3 coming.
And that looked like an easy decision for the quarterback. Hand it off, give him the ball, let him get 5+ yards. Nice decision, nice job by the running back getting the yardage.
Got a little grass. Tackle is made at the 27. Let's give him 10 yards on the play, and it is enough for a first down.
I love the play call by the offense here running the ball. The score is what it is right now. You don't have to panic. You don't have to throw it every single down. You don't have to go up tempo. Just run your stuff. Be balanced. Run the football. Make sure this defense stays honest.
Tackled almost immediately. They're well short of the first down. Last completion picked up a couple. Here comes 2nd and 8. Back to throw. It's Daniels. With the catch, it's Wiles. And that defense pushing him out of bounds after a short gain. Looks as if there is a Seminole still down on the field. That is the senior offensive lineman who's shaken up. Holly Rowe will check on his condition. The Tide crowd rolling noise down onto Saban Field on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Finds his man. He's got enough. It'll be a first down. They've got it at the 12.
Well, we know this guy is special, and because of that, his quarterback is looking to him on critical down and distances. There on that 3rd down, there was no question. It wouldn't have mattered if he was single covered, double covered, man, zone. That's where he was going with it, and the big-time playmaker outside picks up the first.
Looking for a physical attack from the gun. He's pulled down after a tough run, gets it to the 6.
It's all tied up. This offensive line, they want the pressure. They want everything to go through them here. They're saying, look, let's just run the ball. Let's get this thing down closer and closer to the goal line. Let's bleed some clock and put ourselves in the position to win.
The clock has stopped, and we've reached the 2-minute timeout. Going to work in the red zone. They can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. From From the gun, he leaves it with the back. He pushes his way down to the 4 as they get closer and closer.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play. And
touchdown, Florida State! And they've moved up front here in the 4th. What a game he's had. 3rd touchdown of this one and 5 on the season. The extra point. Good, and now in the 4th, they're up by a touchdown and an extra point. Follow the blockers. The offensive line will take you to the hallelujah land.
I tell you what, most of the time, Reese, it requires...
And he loses the ball deep in his own end. It's recovered by the kicking team, and they get the ball right back. Guys, here comes that Florida State offense back onto the field. So that defense keeps the lead right where it is and a chance to build on it, David.
Yeah, the defense did a great job. Now, the offense, you know what you're going to get from this defense. They have to be aggressive. They're trying to get the football back later in the game, Jesse.
Because they're going to be so aggressive too, David. You know, on offense now, you have a chance to break one maybe. In the run game, we're finding a one-on-one matchup in the passing game to really pad the lead.
The Tide will have to call their first timeout. The brain trust getting thoughts together for this big 3rd down coming up. Nickelback on the field, looking pass as they try to keep this a one-possession game in the 4th. Keeping it on the ground on 3rd and goal. And he runs it all the way down to the 3-yard line before he's finally knocked down. Alabama calls it 2nd timeout of the half. Gives him a little time to dig deep in the play sheet and figure out what to do on 4th down. So here we are on 4th down, and this field goal kicker is going to face all the pressure in the world. Now we get a timeout taken by the Seminoles. That's their first. And now everybody chiming in to figure out how to play this 4th down. And the field goal unit stays put. They will try to deliver the haymaker and deck them with a touchdown on 4th and goal. Wants to throw. It's Daniels. Under fire. They get to him as he throws. Couldn't find his man, and they'll give up the football on downs. They're backed up 1st and 10 from inside their own 5, and they'll try to get this drive started. The give from the gun. Pickup of 5. It's now 2nd and 5. They'll hurry to the line with the clock still running.
The offense has a little bit of success on the ground, and they're up. Look at them. They're ready to go again. Back on the line of scrimmage, ready to...
Oh, he's going to try to get it all here. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in.
I'll tell you, this offense just can't afford too many more incompletions because time's running out in the game. They need big plays in the passing attack, vertically down the field, and they've got to score some touchdowns.
Pucks it out of the air. They make the stop, but he'll have enough yardage for a 1st down.
Obviously, that was important. Got to get the 1st down. Now we got to get some chunk plays, get this ball across the 50 and get in scoring position.
And obviously the offense is in a difficult position here. You're asking a lot from them. They're down by a touchdown, not a lot of time on the clock deep in your own end, but this is something that you're trained for. Coaches always put their offense in this situation in practice leading up to the big game. It takes timing, it takes execution, but that is something this offense is ready to do.
IndyCar tempo as they head to the line for this 3rd down play. Clock running. A deep throw as the clock winds down. Wide open, he makes the catch. And he slipped through the crowd, and Hill has it. Touchdown Tide!
What a massive play by this offense. Man, you needed it. Great execution. Now kick the extra point, tie this football game up late, or do you go for 2? Do you go for the win? Do you try to take the lead? That is a you decision.
So they'll decline the penalty, pleased with the results of that last play. He wisely lets that one bounce through the back of the end zone, and they'll take over at the 25. Looking downfield, it's Daniels. He's going to throw deep right side. Goes high to pull it in. There he goes. He's out of bounds after a really nice game, but there is a marker on the field. The big gain on offense, and the play will stand. The offense declines the penalty. Looking to throw on first down. And he went for it all in the first play of the drive and come up empty.
Hey, this offense has been a struggle bus. I mean, just call it like it is, guys. It hasn't been good, especially the passing game. And I'll tell you what, QB's played better games before. And I'm interested to watch. Can he stay positive? Can he finish this game off on a good note?
From the gun, the running back tries to hit the hole. And a nice solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground. Timeout is called and the clock is down to 8. Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on third down. Rides to the back. He'll be stopped short of the line to gain. Needed about 3 more on that one. They get the timeout and the clock reads 3 seconds. So on fourth down, here comes the field goal kicker in a huge spot. They get the timeout and the clock reads 3 seconds. Now on fourth down, here comes the field goal team. There is no doubt, at this point in the game, this crowd knows how big this kick could be. Absolute shame. Missed it. After that failed field goal attempt, fellas, still tie ball game. All right, guys, so here we go in overtime, and just to refresh everyone's memory, alternating possession starting on the opponent's 25.
And you want to play defense first because you want to know what you need. That's a key philosophical approach for most teams when it comes to overtime, David.
Yeah, and remember the rule change a couple years ago, too, and the second overtime and 2-point conversion. So all this stuff is situational type football that you better have worked on throughout these weeks of the season.
First play of the first possession of OT. The run inside. It's Hill. Might have a chance. He rolls all the way down to the 5-yard line before they finally get him stopped.
What a big-time run for this offense. A physical run, getting down, almost scoring the touchdown.
Yeah, and considering how well they're running it right now, why wouldn't you just hand it off to this guy right here again?
And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. The run up the middle, trying to find his way to the goal line. Relentless, tough running gets it down to the 4. Big third and goal here in overtime as they try to get a touchdown to take the lead. Throwing Russell. Here's the heat. And down he goes. The defense bringing the heat. They'll try to strike first with a field goal in overtime. Splits the uprights. Good. And they go back on top. Down by a field goal and a touchdown will
defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
Looking to throw, it's Daniels. That, friends, is a busted play. Incomplete.
When you talk about versatility at the running back spot, you got to talk about this guy in the conversation. He already has caught a touchdown in this one. They're still trying to throw him the football. That one goes incomplete, but I would keep this up if I'm on offense.
Maybe a crease. He gets it so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short. With a condensed field in overtime, if you can establish the run, it is a huge advantage.
Big-time advantage. You establish your physicality, come out the gates, put you in a positive way. Now, I can play action, opens the whole playbook.
He's brought down, but not before he picks up the first down on a gutsy call to keep this drive alive.
And you see him consistently sticking with the run, staying balanced. As you get closer to the goal line, you're thinking the field starts to shrink. Now, do I have a jump ball wide receiver out wide I can throw the football to? How am I going to find that extra space and take care of the football while doing it?
Knocked down behind the line of scrimmage, he'll lose a yard.
Offense trying to go push pass on first down the goal line, but the defense, tremendous surge up front. They get penetration and they get the tackle for loss.
He got it in! A walk-off touchdown in overtime!
Game on the line, and they've got to be the more physical side. Great job getting blocks up front. He was able to skirt his way into the end zone, David, to win this game.
Man, that's why I want the ball second in OT. I know exactly what I need to go get it done. They take it down the field, run in the end zone, and end the football game.
That's going to do it for us as the season marches on. For David Pollack, Jesse Palmer, and Holly Rowe, I'm Reese Davis. This has been a presentation of EA Sports College Football.